YouTubers, and welcome the Zoomers who are joining me as well. We're in the evening here, so you're going to see the light kind of go down behind me. Tonight we're going to take a load off your shoulders. We're going to do a whole bunch of strategies around opening up your chest and also finding the range of motion in your shoulders. And also we're going to do a lot of things for wrists, because I think sometimes depending on where we hold our stress or tension, some of it might climb up into this neck and shoulders and our chest collapsing. So these are some things that you can do at your desk or at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, whenever you become aware that you are, all of a sudden it's building up. So we're going to start against the wall, and I'm going to use my pretend wall. My cameraman says, don't keep moving around the room. Yeah. So we're going to interlock our thumbs and bring your arms up and over your head. And see if you can't get the backs of your hands on the wall. And you should feel the tissues in your body start to warm up, even doing this. And then you're going to press the back of your head and your heart against the wall. And still pulling the thumbs, you're going to bring the arms parallel to the floor. And you're going to pull your shoulders back. And each of these things, each time we learn how to do each of these things, this is really useful when we're doing other poses, and I might say drop your left shoulder or drop both shoulders. So here, just drop your shoulders and feel that. Release the thumbs and bring your arm bones down and just feel the heat. Now take the palms of your hands towards the middle of your room. Bring your arms up again. This time the palms are going to touch. And if you can't straighten your arms, then don't worry about it. Just do your best. Press the back of your heart into the floor. Into the wall. And then flip the palms of your hands so that we're going to do, it's almost like a swan dive, but we're not swan diving. We're going to bring the palms so they're facing the floor. And really press the back of your heart and go slowly, so you feel it. Go slowly so you feel it. Press the back of your heart into the wall. And then inhale, palms now coming up to the ceiling. Inhale. And for those of you who've never tried this and you may be sitting on your couch and watching, this is actually takes quite a bit of effort, because we never are reaching up in our normal day. So this is a lot of work for our body to figure it out. And then come down, palms facing the ground. Now you're going to interlock your fingers to the webbing. And you're going to press your shoulders down, and then you're going to start to bring them up. So your arms are now going to be parallel to the floor. Now push those wrists forward. Feel the back of your heart onto the wall, and then continue. So noticing, I'm noticing previous injury. I mean, that's normal. And just noticing the differences, especially if you're very right-handed or very left-handed, you'll notice the differences in your body from left to right. Now press the back of your heart into the wall and slightly the back of your head, gently the back of your head, and then bring your arms out again. Now push those wrists. Feel the work that's happening there. You're pushing the back of your heart into the wall, pushing your wrist bone forward, and then down. Now shake that out. Now you're going to turn and face the wall. I'm going to just move into my other wall so that it's kind of easier for you to see me. You're going to interlock your fingers to the webbing again. And I hope you don't have too much makeup on or whatever, because I'd like you to put your forehead on the wall. So you may have to wash it later if you do have makeup or moisturizer or whatever. You're going to micro bend your knees. Your hands are behind you. You're interlocking your fingers to the webbing. And then you're going to inhale, and you're going to bring those arms up as high as you can. And your exhale, you're going to feel the back of your heart softening a little bit. Then inhale into your chest, and now I'd like you to move on the exhale only. So you exhale, you move where you can. Pull your belly in, lengthen through your waistline. Inhale into your heart, exhale. Arms coming up. Now, the whole idea of having your forehead against the wall is so that you don't drop your head, because that's what people do when they feel their shoulders. And then you're going to exhale and release all the way down. Now, I'm pretty sure that you interlocked your fingers through the webbing and crossed your thumbs in your old familiar way. So I'd like you to try to do it the other way. So that means the other thumb is on top. It means you're recrossing your fingers, and it feels like you're holding somebody else's hand. Forehead against the wall. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, now push those arm bones straight. You take a moment, you don't go to your maximum, and then you try to move on your subsequent exhale. So you inhale, and then exhale, you move. Feel your chest working here. Inhale, exhale, bring your arms up. If you're working with, if there's two of you in the room, one person could be helping you take your arms out, or the weight of your arms, and not hurting you, but just taking the weight of your arms and just bringing you to your range of motion, and then exhale, release. Whoa. Come to the top of your mat now. You're going to move away from your wall. Micro bend your knees, stick your butt back. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, move your hands away from your sacrum. And then you pause. So use your breath as a strategy here. Chest, drop your shoulders, chest is open. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, move your arms away. I know this is tough. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, move your arms away. Try to keep your head on top of your spine as if your forehead is against a wall. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, move your arms away. Whoa. Now feel the heat. Whoa. That's a lot of heat for those weeny little muscles in the front of my chest to hold my heavy arms up. Oh. Exhale, release. Woo! Shake your arms out. You can do whatever you'd like to shake your arms out. We're going to do some shoulder openers on the ground. So come into the middle of your mat. And if you can sit in Japanese seated posture, that would be great. So take your hands, we're going to bend our wrists. We're going to do shoulders and wrists at the same time. Yeah, double the money, double pleasure. And then with your hands at 90 degrees, you're going to stick them in your waistline, and then you're going to curl your back and try to pull your elbows towards each other. And you're going to notice that there's a lot happening. You can let your head kind of come in. So it's really a tucking. And then inhale, the head comes up, open up your throat. Now try to bring those elbows back. You're probably feeling some of the work that we just did on the wall, even though it didn't feel like anything. It is something. And then curl your back, tuck your chin in. And if you're a person who carries a lot, or when you're thinking a lot, or some situation or something that you're trying to work out, a lot of people, it moves up into their heart area and into the back of your heart and then up into your shoulders. So just being aware of what happens when you're thinking hard, you could maybe take the time to open up your chest and curl your back. Bring in your wings again. And then come to neutral and flip the palms of your hands, let your wrists relax. And then just close your eyes and like let your mind go to where your shoulders are. And can you feel, as you push your hip bones forward and create a lumbar curve, that your arms become softer and the shoulders, not so much the arms come softer, but they just feel lighter. That's what I really want to say. We're going to do a big shoulder opener on the floor. And before we start, I think that you should watch so that we can do it together, because if you don't know where we're going and then you try to look at where we're going, it's going to cause some, your neck, you're going to wrench your head around. So why not just take a moment, be on your shins. If you want to open up your feet, you can tuck your toes and sit back occasionally. That's really great for your feet. And just watch this first one, and then we'll do each side together, so don't worry. So you're going to come down onto your belly. Oh, that feels good already. You're going to bring your right arm out. So I'll say right and left, and I hope you can follow that. And for some people, I'm going to use a block. You'll want to either have your hand at shoulder height, or for some of you, you may want to move your arm bone forward. Like I know Pat is in the room today. She'll want to move her arm bone forward so that she can have more space. Okay. So if you have a block, you're actually going to look to the left. Then you're going to bend your left knee, left foot to the ceiling, and then really, really carefully, left hand and left elbow bent in front of your face. You're watching it. You're going to try to roll onto the right side of your body and bring your left foot close into your right thigh. That's the beginning. Then I'm going to ask you, for some of you, you can bring your arm up. Some of you will be able to bend your elbow and bring the back of your hand into your low back. Others, now this is key, you only go to where you can manage it, please. Then others might crawl their hand up their spine, find the top of their right arm. This is where it gets all complicated, right, left. And then you'll have to kind of move your pelvis a little bit more, lift your head and reposition it for sure, and then see if you can interlock your fingers to the webbing. This is, I've been working on this for years. So if you're here, you're doing the yoga. So don't worry about the end pose. Then we'll come out, left hand will go in front of your face, and you come down onto your belly. You won't move that arm. You'll just take a moment, then I'll signal you to move the arm, and then we take a little rest. Okay, let's go. So you're on your tummies. Right arm is out. Take your block. If you don't need a block, don't worry about it, but it's just a little more comfortable. You're going to look to the left, your right arm is out. Fingers are nice and wide, but they're relaxed. Left hand in front of your face, left arm, elbows bent 9 degrees. Bend your left knee, left foot goes to the ceiling, and then you're going to roll onto the outside of your right hip and land your left foot. This is where all the information starts to occur. All of a sudden you're feeling things. And in my body, and maybe in your body, you're going to have to lift your head and reposition your head, because of course your neck is going to have an adjustment as well. Those of you who'd like to go a little further, left arm goes up. And maybe that's as far as you want to go. Others might want to bend their left elbow, bring the back of your left hand into your sacrum. And you'll notice now that you have the weight of that whole left arm that you're going into more and more of a shoulder opener. And a chest opener. This is really a chest shoulder opener. And then if you've gotten here and you want to explore, then you walk that hand behind your heart and you find your right arm, the top of. You'll have to lift your head and reposition it as you roll a little bit more on your, almost on your right buttock, so that you'll have enough room to crawl your left hand down your right arm, interlock your fingers to the webbing, and alleluia. Shoulder opener. You may want to lift your head and reposition it again. Try to breathe into the parts you're feeling. So breathing into your right front chest, very helpful. Inhaling, oh, exhaling. Oh. Left hand now and left bent elbow coming in front of the face. You're not going to move your right arm when we come out of this. You're going to press through that left hand, bent left elbow. You're going to roll onto your tummy. You want to move that. Oh, doing that twice is something. You want to move that block out of the way. Put your forehead in the back of your hand. You're still not moving that right arm yet. We're letting all the blood, the circulation, the bones, we're letting those cool out. Now you're going to bend that right elbow. Whoa. Right hand over left or whatever. And then forehead on top of that. Whew. And then see if you can't really feel intensely the difference between the right and the left shoulder. And of course we have to do the other side. So I'm going to just move myself a little bit on this mat. So I want to make sure that you can see. And take your block. And take the left arm out. Oh. And of course there are differences on each side. And then you're going to look to the right. Oh. I'm going to bend the right elbow to the ceiling, and the right hand is almost, well, it's chest height really. You're going to bend your right knee, right foot to the ceiling, and you're going to roll onto the left hip. And this is where I am always adjusting the position of my head. Right foot comes on the ground behind the left thigh. And then it's really good to wait. So in many ways, this takes the ideas of yin, where we are asking the tissues to wake up. And, connective tissue around shoulders, whoa, that is so important to keep healthy. And it's difficult. As we age, it dries out. So we want to make sure that we have both muscles, but also lots of tissues that are alive, that are asked to do their job, and they don't forget what to do. Right arm can go up. Remember to lift your head and reposition it if you need to. Bend your right elbow. You don't know about this side, so again, it's an exploration. Back of your hand at your sacrum. And then you wait. And then crawl that arm bone up to your heart. Find the top of your left arm. And then you're going to have to turn your pelvis a little bit more to the ceiling as you crawl your right hand down and interlock your fingers to the webbing. Whoa. This is intense for me on this side. I have to remind myself to breathe. Inhaling, exhaling. And you'll notice that I'm not acting like a statue. I am kind of just gently swaying my body from left to right so that I'm not in a position where it's so intense that I can't breathe. I'm giving like a little release. Nice. Take your right arm bone up, land it in your right hand in front of your face, right elbow bent. Remember, we're not going to move that left arm no matter how much we want to. And then you're going to come back onto your belly with the support of your right hand. Move your block out of the way. Bring your right hand underneath your forehead. Oh. Oh. And wait for the circulation to go back into your left shoulder. Nice. Bend that left elbow. Oh, I can hardly move it. Left hand, right hand, forehead on top of all that. Oh. And then breathe. Nice. Nice. We're going to move into a child's pose. Let's make this a wide-kneed child's pose. And you can have your arms forward so that you can feel, it's not an active situation here, but have your arms forward and stretch them. And see if you can't bring your forehead to the floor. Make sure that you're breathing. And imagine that those shoulders and the front of your chest has, like there's full of balloons and lots of space for breath. So the more that we can feel and imagine the space, the more that it might stay there after all this effort. And then come on up. Come into Japanese seated posture. And then just let your wrist bones rest on your thighs and let your chest relax. Whenever we open up this chest, this is a super vulnerable place. You might feel like a rush of thoughts and emotions, and that's all normal. Just let them rush through, cascade through like a waterfall. If it's something you have to think about later, make it later. You can just say, oh yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. Inhaling and exhaling. So I promised today that not only were we going to open up and take a load off our shoulders, but we were going to talk nicely to our hands. So these hands, it's a lot that they do all day. So let's see if we can give them some love. So bring them forward. So they're going to be shoulder height. So, we know where our shoulders are right now. Fingers are really wide. We're going to do a very slow windshield wiper kind of movement. So just often feel the sides of my wrists from all the swiping up and down and clicking and all of those things that we are currently doing. Yeah, so push those wrists forward. So that's a regular windshield wiper situation. Now I want you to break your windshield wiper, and then so that the front of your wrists are pushing forward. So think of it from your shoulder all the way forward, and then the fingers are pointing down. And try to get this surface, the top of your hand and your fingers, as in line as possible. And I always notice that when the wrist is really stiff, it seems even more difficult to get that line. But just do your best. So if you're out on an angle, that's fine. Just try to keep everything straight in a line. And then you're going to do your windshield wipering. Inhaling and exhaling. You can still inhale and exhale. Inhale into your chest and exhale into the back body. Yeah. And then shake it all out. Shake it from your shoulders all the way out. Nobody can see. Get all the wiggles. Who cares? Woo. All the way around. Whatever shaking and wiggling you need to do. So we're going to go on all fours. And your knees are going to be right underneath your hips. So take a moment to look at that. And then tuck your toes under. I'm wearing my socks today, because it's nice and cozy. And when we're doing a practice where we don't have to work with our feet, it's kind of nice to just be warm from the top to the bottom. So your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And I would just like you to sit back into Pouncy Puppy to start with, just so that you can feel some more things. And then come onto all fours and flip the right hand. So the right hand, the fingers are pointing to your knees and the wrist bone is parallel to the top of your mat. I'm already feeling this. Oh, it's so good. And then you're going to inhale, so your right shoulder goes forward and naturally your face is going to come over the left hand. You're pushing your right hip back. You're crunching up the left side of your body. That should feel like a lot. And then you exhale and you come through to center. Again, inhale, right shoulder forward, right hip back, crunch the left side. Exhale. Come to neutral. Now look at your right hand and try to curl from the baby finger first, and then the other fingers and other fingers, and finally the thumbs into a fist. Try to make your fist really, really work. And reposition that right arm so it's straight. I know that I would really much rather bend it, but see what you can do to keep it straight. And push your right shoulder forward and your right hip back. Take an inhale. Crunch the left side of your body. Exhale. Come to neutral. Sit back. Flip the right palm to the ceiling. Flip the left palm. Wow. And just feel the circulation. And feel the space, feel the nervous system start to work, but also feel the flush. That's not the right word. I'm losing my words. It's so intense. Just feel the blood flow. That's what I want to say. Let's do the other hand. Come on to all fours. Flip the left hand. Fingers to the left knee. Wrist bone parallel to the front of your mat. I wonder how this side is going to feel. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Exhale, come to neutral. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Your toes can be tucked or not, just whatever you feel you'd like to do. And you can vary that. Exhale, come into neutral. Now look at your left hand, straighten the arm. I just noticed that I'm like going, oh, I'd rather just bend the left elbow. It would be so much easier. And then start to curl your fingers into the palm of your hand and make a fist. Whoa. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Oh, exhale. Come to neutral. Whoa. Sit back. If you want to tuck your toes, as a difference, and then flip the palms of your hands, both of them, to the ceiling and let your forehead come to the floor. And then just feel the circulation. Feel the circulation right to your shoulders. So think about that the nerves from your hands traveling up your arms into the connection into your neck. So it's traveling through. So you can imagine that your shoulder gets some love doing this as well. So we're going to come on to all fours. This is the one everybody loves. I like to do it with my toes tucked so I can have some control. Fingertips on the floor. It's really only the top finger, really. And the palm is to the top of your mat. And I like to this one we bend our elbows. And we're going to stretch the joints in our fingers, the tendons and muscles, and spaces for our bones. And we're going to try to bring the joints of the fingers flat onto the floor. Only move on your exhales. I'm pretty sure you can feel this. Oh, Wow. Try to breathe through this. Imagine that the most intense spot that you're feeling it has lungs. You can inhale, you can exhale. Oh, flip the palms of your hands, sit back. Child's pose. Oh, forehead on the floor. Palms open to the ceiling. Oh. That's a lot. Come back up. This time, the actual palms are going to be on the floor. Now, before we start moving, just check that the middle fingers are parallel. And again, I like to tuck my toes so that I can control the weight of my pelvis moving front and back. I don't want it to be so intense that I feel vulnerable that I'm going to break something in my hands or in my wrists. I want to be in control of the intensity. And the intensity should be at a place where you can breathe. So only move on your exhale, that's where the space is. So you inhale, you exhale, you start peeling. So again, we're going backwards. You might need to move your knees through this. Peel the palms of your hands. Bend your elbows. Oh my goodness, eh? Bend your elbows. Feel your fingers. Feel your fingers. Feel your fingers. Oh my goodness. Bend your elbows deeply. Maybe some of you will be able to bring your elbows on the floor, and then you'll be able to flip the palms of your hands. Woo! And then release. Take an inhale and an exhale. Good work. Good work. Again with the old fours. This time we're going to bring the wrist bones together. So I'll just show you. It's going to be like this on the mat. I think you can see like that. And we're just going to move gently from left to right so that we can feel things here. Lots of feelings. So we're not putting all the weight of our entire body on this. It's not a push-up or anything. It's just finding where are the crunchy bits. That's what Pat likes to say. There's some crunchy bits. Nice. And then sit back. Finally. Oh, my goodness. I can hardly wait to shake them. So shake them. Shake those hands. Shake the shoulders. Get everything going. Okay. So one of the poses that we do, sometimes we do it standing or folded or on our backs, as eagle arms. And since we've done all this work on our wrists and our shoulders, and if eagle arms is a pose that's challenging for you, it might happen for you today in this sequence. So we're going to take our arms out, scarecrow style, and we're going to pull back. Hands are really wide, fingers are really wide, and everything's awake by now. And it's imagining that you are hugging with the back of your body a beautiful tree in Haida Gwaii, or some beautiful, beautiful place where the trees are thousands of years old. And then we're going to take the right arm bone and we're going to sneak it underneath the left arm bone. And for some of you, grabbing your shoulders is going to be pretty good. Others, you're going to bring your fingers towards the ceiling and you're going to take your right hand and try to get it hooked into the inside of your left hand. But all fingers are going to the ceiling. Now you just take a moment, drop your shoulders a little bit, and then inhale into your heart. Exhale, only move on the exhale. So I'm really feeling intensely the left side, outside of my left shoulder. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, move the elbows up even further. Again, inhale into your heart. Exhale, move them up. Maybe your hands are near your head now if your shoulders are really open. And then tuck the tail, curl your back like angry cat, And try to curl down so much. Still with these shoulders. Really, really trying to be rounded. And try to touch your fingers to the floor. Oh, and hold this. Inhaling. Oh, exhaling. Now control. Use your bandhas. Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, belly button to backbone. Jaladhara bandha is an automatic in this one. And then come on up. Reverse what we just did. Bring your arms up even more. Even more. Stick your butt back. Chest is opening. And maybe you bring your elbows up so high that even your forehead is going to the ceiling. And then neutral. And then open up those arms and hug that tree again. Whoa. Whoa. And left arm underneath right. And then you have to experiment because each side is different. It may be that this is a side that you need to take care of, so you don't want to do the eagle arms, or that this is going to be a different experience for you on this side. So eagle arms, you're going to get your fingers going to the ceiling. Hook the left fingers into the inside of that right palm, and don't bend your wrist. Try to do your best to do this. When you do this in this way, you're going to be targeting your shoulder, the outside of your shoulder. Now inhale into your heart. Feel your heart lifting. Exhale, move your elbows up a little bit. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, move your elbows up a little bit. Wow. Inhale into your heart. Notice the inhale helps. Exhale, move your arms up a little bit. Now, tuck the tail, Mula Bandha. Pull up the pelvic floor. Belly button to backbone. Curl your back like an angry cat. Curl it. Keep pulling, keep pushing the hands into each other, but also pulling the arms away energetically. So you're really getting the inside and the outside of those shoulders. And then curl so much that there is a possibility that your fingers might touch the mat. Keep working the eagle arms. Inhaling, exhaling. Nice. Now go slow. Tuck the tail. Belly button to backbone. Inhale, come on up. Go slow. If you have to take 2 inhales, doesn't matter. Go slow. Come all the way up. Start pushing your hip bones forward, creating a lumbar curve. And then inhale into your heart. Exhale, bring your arms up even further. Elbows even further. Forehead. Maybe your face is facing the ceiling. Keep going. And then come to neutral. Whoa. And then open up your arms and hug that tree with the back of your heart. Yeah. Fantastic. Nice. Oh. And then release your shoulders. Flip the palms of your hands. And then just chill. Let those arm bones have their new spot. Make sure your chest is nice and lifted here. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do a heart opener as one of our last poses before having deep relaxation or shavasana. So you take your blocks. This is going to feel good. Okay, this is when we get a little bit more reward. You're going to take your blocks and put them at the top of your mat in a T shape. So I like to take this height, put it between my heart, or the back of my heart, not at the top of my neck and not at the very bottom. So I'm just going to show so that at least you have an idea. Okay? And it can be adjusted, but I just don't want you to pinch your neck or do anything that's not nice. And then the other one, so I'm going to set that up. I kind of know, because I do this a lot. And then the other one is going to be at the highest height, and it's going to be at the back of the middle of your head. And you want your face parallel to your chest, parallel to the ceiling. So have them close by. Believe me, this is going to feel good. After all that, you'll know the right spot because it'll feel really great. Keep your knees bent so you can control it, and then take the other one and put it the back of the middle of your head. Now, I like to travel my fingers down the block so that I know that I'm really solid on that block. It's not wobbly in any way. And then bring your arms out, palms open to the ceiling, and now you could tent your knees towards each other and your feet could be hip width apart. Or could be much wider than your hips. Could be mat width apart or even further. So you do what makes you feel like the femurs are just crawling into that place. So, our spines have two kind of curvy spots. We have the cervical curve, we have the lumbar curve, and when we do something to the cervical curve, the lumbar curve goes, oh, you're giving us a little more room. And vice versa, when we open up our hips and we have a little more room for a lumbar curve, a lumbar spine, the neck responds as well. So you may feel a response right now in your hips and you're thinking, I didn't do anything. They're just finding their new space. The spine decided to let go. Let your arms be heavy. If you want to move them to a more challenging position just so that you can feel your armpits, go ahead. Palms open to the ceiling. Relaxed fingers. Relaxed jaw. The next pose is Shavasana, deep relaxation pose. In order to get out of this, to go to the next pose, you're going to bring your feet close into your buttocks, dig your elbows in, doesn't matter which side you go, and roll off your blocks and go onto your side. You can use your arm on that side as a pillow and just wait for a moment. And I'd like you to take those blocks away and then roll onto your spine. If you don't have your Shavasana music kind of nearby, or you just need to get your technology organized, then go ahead and bend your knees and push yourself up to seated. And you can get your Shavasana music organized. We have a beautiful pink sunset here this evening. So coming down, make sure if you've had to get up to organize that you're going to come down with your knees bent. You're going to take your time to open. You could actually even have your heart elevated or your pelvis elevated if you'd like to continue to open up your chest. You get all comfy. If you need a blanket or you need any other thing, I'd really encourage a nice smelly candle or all the things that bring comfort, that remind you of what you're doing, which is, so much self-care. Before we really settle into Shavasana in this sequence today, I'd like you to take a big inhale. Hold the inhale. And when you exhale, sigh, groan, moan. Let everything go. This is precious time in your day or your week. And you need to let your body and your mind know that this is the time for the rest. This is the time for glimpses of a calm body, with a calm mind. So use this whole time for yourself to let go. Wiggling your fingers and toes, coming back to the room. Bring your legs together, roots of toes together, the big toes, and point the toes gently towards the end of your mat, the end of your room. You can grab your elbows overhead, or you can stretch your arms straight, interlock your fingers, the webbing, and release the index fingers. Now take a big inhale. We'll practice breath retention here. And hold the top of the inhale and relax your jaw, your forehead, your skin. Now sip up a little more air through your nose. Notice your quiet body. And then when you exhale, really let it go. Sigh, groan, moan. Backs of hands relax, feet flop open. Eyes closed. One knee into your chest, the other knee into your chest. Curl yourself into a tight little ball. Oh, this is the part I love the most, I must admit, because it feels like the bestest hug, the most knowing hug. Like how hard you hug, you know. And it's like a reward for the body, all the work that you did in this sequence. Allow your head to come back down to the floor. Tuck your chin in gently. And then roll over to right or left side so that your whole body just collapses and responds to gravity. You can use your arm or a block underneath your head. Feel your rib cage start to move with easy breathing. Notice your calmer, stronger, more peaceful body. Notice your calmer, stronger, more peaceful mind. Pay attention to all the sensations in your room, the smells, the temperature, and how you feel precisely at this moment. So it becomes a memory that you can come to when you need it the most. Use your fingertips, bent elbows, push yourself up to seated. Let's meet for a grounding breath, the top of our mat. Cross your legs, rub them, flex your feet, wake up your legs. Bring your hands into the middle of your chest. Drop those shoulders that are so alive. Thumbs touching the sternum. Hands are so alive. Take an inhale through your nose. Cool air. Imagine it swirling around your warm lungs, your warm body. And then when you exhale, humble your brain to your heart and feel the warm air pass your fingertips. This is the perfect moment in our practice to also practice gratitude. Thank you so much for coming. It means the world to me that you are taking this time for yourself. Namaste.